RealAgriculture.com's coverage of the Western Canadian Dairy Seminar is brought to you by Alberta Milk.
Maybe you can just tell me and our viewers about the research that you presented on today.
This is research with one of my graduate students, Shannon Allen, and we were looking at consumer perceptions and beliefs and preferences for milk and yogurt. We wanted to see why fluid milk sales are going down so badly and yogurt sales are going up so quickly, to see if we could figure out some way of improving fluid milk sales.
And any conclusions that you drew from that research?
Well, first of all, it turns out that Canadians see milk and yogurt as very different products. That's something that we were a bit surprised about, as how different they are. And it doesn't look like many of the attributes of yogurt, which you might know of lots of yogurts having functional properties such as being probiotic. There's only certain segments of the population that want that same thing in their milk, so it's not going to be as big a seller in milk as it is in yogurt. But they would respond directly to more information. They want more nutrient information than what is provided in the basic nutrition facts panel, and that would make them more interested in milk. And older people would be interested in vitamin enhancement beyond the normal fortification, and that would encourage them to drink more milk. So all of that's positive.
These are all things that are already in milk. We're not just making up.
Well, they are in milk to a certain extent, but we would probably fortify them to higher levels, because these are micronutrients that we're deficient in our diets. And there are health problems. Public health people are worried about micronutrient deficiencies in the diet, particularly if people avoid dairy products. But if we could enhance them in dairy products, we'd likely reduce some of the other health problems.
You talked a little bit about how milk is more expensive relative to other beverages. Do people not see the fundamental difference, I suppose, between a glass of milk and a can of Coke?
I think they do. I think almost everybody does. And the questions we asked about nutritional information showed that they clearly understood the nutritional benefits from dairy products. I think they see it as a beverage. I think they see spending such and such a proportion of their budget on beverages, and they can get more beverage with other beverages. And they would go for fruit juices, which they say is also having some nutritional benefits. But it just means that they're not seeing it as quite as uniquely as we would like them to see it, except for, younger children and that sort of thing.
Anything producers can do to influence how milk is going to be labeled?
There's lots of stuff that the public is worried about in milk. They're worried about things like hormones, and I know the industry is very interested in promoting the fact that they don't use hormones to the same extent as some other industries, and probably we need to do more of that to encourage people to think of milk in Canada as a different product than it is globally.
You talked a bit about how people love to hear that stuff is free of something, so hormone-free. That's a big emotional, I suppose, influencer on
yes.
purchasers.
And antibiotics are a big deal in dairy, it turns out. Our people definitely responded very negatively to the idea of antibiotics in milk. So if we can encourage them to believe that our milk is antibiotic-free, that will be good for increasing sales. But it's not going to affect sales of all dairy products the same way, and it could in fact encourage people to eat even more yogurt and not necessarily drink more milk. So I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah. And any reason why dairy is segmented in people's mind? Why do they eat yogurt and not milk?
I thought maybe it was an away-from-home, at-home thing, and milk was something you drank at home and yogurt was something you ate away from home, but the patterns were not that different. So people see both of them as things they can eat away from home, so that's good because we spend about 27% of our food budget away from home. So there's something else going on. Maybe they like the eating more than the drinking. We didn't ask them too much about cheese, so it could be they like cheese and yogurt because they're things that you actually eat. Maybe they don't like the texture of drinking milk. I don't know. I just was surprised as how stunningly different the patterns of behavior are around milk and yogurt.
Anything else particularly for producers to take away from your talk today?
I think we need to be concerned about the perception the public has that milk is expensive. I think perhaps we need to be focusing quite a bit on the nutritional benefits of milk. Perhaps we need to go back to targeted types of promotional messages so that women in my advanced age group get the message that yes, we need to be drinking milk for osteoporosis reasons. The public health people are very concerned that middle-aged to elderly women are drinking so little milk, and that teenagers are drinking so little milk. And it turns out that if we want to target those groups, we're going to have to go after them very differently. So maybe we need segmented marketing messages to make sure that we're getting the groups that are most at risk of being dairy deficient in their diets.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Ellen.
Thank you.